Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. We're following breaking news this evening. Suspicious package investigated outside Concord Bank. Police in Concord investigated a suspicious package outside a bank Friday afternoon, officials said. The state police bomb squad investigated the package outside the Merrimack County Savings Bank. A bomb robot was used to examine the device, and an officer wearing a protective uniform set up a controlled detonation. After a small blast was heard, officers collected pieces of the package. There was no immediate word what the package contained. North Main Street was closed during the investigation, but it was reopened soon after the controlled detonation. This is a developing story that will be updated as more information comes into our newsroom. Red Sox pitcher Stephen Wright suspended for 15 games. Red Sox pitcher Stephen Wright has been suspended for 15 games for a violation of the league's domestic violence policy, alleged officials said. His suspension will begin whenever he is put on the team's active player list. Wright has agreed not to appeal the discipline, the league said. Wright was arrested in Tennessee on a domestic assault charge on December 8th. The 33-year-old was booked and held by the county law enforcement for about 12 hours. Documents show he was charged with domestic assault and preventing a 911 call. At the time, Wright's attorney, Alex, confirmed the arrest, but said there was no physical violence. MLB Commissioner Robert said that Wright cooperated with the league's investigation. Wright is known as a knuckleball pitcher, one of only 2 in the major league last season. While he was an all-star in 2016, he was sidelined by a knee injury in 2017 after just 5 starts. Wright is eligible to continue practicing in spring training activities. The Red Sox start their season on the road on March 29th, and opening day at Fenway Park is April 5th. Community approves subpoenas of records in Marcy Kennedy, Kendall Chick deaths. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
very proud of this company, very proud of what we do and what we do here as a team. It dates back to Maine heritage and just working hard. And we have a lot of really good people ready to go and willing to do anything and hardworking.
Believe me, I would love to share with you all the facts that I know about this case, but I can't.
DHHS Commissioner Ricker Hamilton chose his words carefully when we asked him questions about 10-year-old Marissa Kennedy.
This is what happens. We need to preserve the criminal investigation. We don't want to do anything that would upset the people who perpetrate crimes like this being held responsible to the highest level.
Did you abuse your daughter?
Kennedy's mother and stepfather, Sharon and Julio Cirillo, are facing murder charges. State police say the couple beat the girl for months until she died in late February. Neighbors say they reported signs of child abuse. School officials raised red flags too. Lawmakers and the public have been asking what went wrong.
It's uncomfortable for us. It should be uncomfortable for us. A child's died, and we need to do better.
DHHS says it received almost 47,000 phone calls on its hotline last year. Commissioner Hamilton says staffers look into every report of abuse and follow up appropriately. He says the department's staff is bigger than it was in 2011, and he welcomes any review of how DHHS handles reports of child abuse.
Something broke down, and we want to make sure that whatever broke down is fixed and it doesn't happen again.
State Representative Patty Hymanson is the Democratic co-chair of the legislature's Health and Human Services Committee. She's calling for an independent legislative inquiry into how DHHS responds to red flags.
And if you say something to somebody, you want to make sure that that somebody has the authority and the ability to act on what you said. But something about this process of acting on something broke down.
Lawmakers on the legislature's Government Oversight Committee could vote to launch that independent investigation on Friday. I'm Paul Merrill, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Friday evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the red and went down. Your Nasdaq closed in the red and went down. S&P 500 closed in the red and went down. CNBC IQ 100 closed in the red and went down. Gold closed in the green and went up. Oil closed in the green and went up. US 10-year closed in the red and went down. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the green and went up. Dow drops more than 400 points into correction, post worst week since January 2016. Stocks fell sharply on Friday, adding to their steep weekly losses as investors assessed the possibility of a trade war brewing between the U.S. and China. Trump says he signed $1.3 trillion spending bill after threatening to veto. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Then we're going to get on to this ridiculous situation that took place over the last week. They get together and they create a series of documents that nobody's been able to read because it was just done. Now, you tell me who can read that quickly. It takes a long time to read it. Therefore, as a matter of national security, I've signed this omnibus budget bill. There are a lot of things that I'm unhappy about in this bill. There are a lot of things that we shouldn't have had in this bill, but we were, in a sense, forced. If we want to build our military, we were forced to have. There are some things that we should have in the bill. But I say to Congress, I will never sign another bill like this again. I'm not going to do it again. Nobody read it. It's only hours old. Some people don't even know what it is. $1.3 trillion. It's the second largest ever. So while we're very disappointed in the 1.3 trillion, nobody more disappointed than me because the number is so large. It'll start coming down. We had no choice but to fund our military because we have to have by far the strongest military in the world. We wanted to include DACA. We wanted to have them in this bill, 800,000 people. And actually, it could even be more. And we wanted to include DACA in this bill. The Democrats would not do it. They would not do it. I can tell you this, and I say this to DACA recipients, that the Republicans are with you. They want to get your situation taken care of. The Democrats fought us. They just fought every single inch of the way. They did not want DACA in this bill. And as you know, DACA is also tied to the wall for the major funding, the $25 billion for wall and other things. I just want to thank members of Congress for working so hard. While we can be disappointed in some ways, we have to also know that there are a lot of strings pulling everybody in different directions. We looked at a veto. I looked very seriously at the veto. I was thinking about doing the veto, but because of the incredible gains that we've been able to make for the military, that overrode any of our thinking.
Okay, and there you go on that video. And that is it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday evening, and I'll be back with another newscast tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Bye.